Wow, that was almost as much applause as Purge gets. Almost. Not quite though.
No one gets as many applause as Purge.
No.
Come on, be real.
It's too good.
Players don't even get that many applause. I feel like Purge should do his own walking whenever he's on the panel.
Get some hype music,
Yeah.
some intro stuff. Yeah, I can get down for that. Maybe a smoke machine. Oh look, guys.
Sir Action likes to do some intro.
It's more
more
things.
Venos.
You got the Wizard of Oz.
That was the wing strat back in the day. That's what they did against you.
Yeah. Birds and bugs and bees and everything.
Yeah.
Now you have 4 different heroes that can just make things, and they can make more of those things thanks to the CM aura. Last pick for Virtus.pro.
I'd say it's a surprise, but it's not, is it? We've seen this before. This is a Virtus.pro trick we've seen before.
Yeah. It was Huskar the previous time they played Secret.
Yep.
Now it's Brood. This is the power of this VP squad. They can play pretty much every cheesy hero you could think of. And I don't... Whew.
It's going to be a tough game for Secret now, isn't it? Just because of that one pick.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I think this is 80-20. Like, you can't deal with Brood in this game, and I've seen Ramses win way too many heroes.
Yeah. We're at 90 again. So close.
And
I know that you're
they're both bugs though, kind of. Isn't that synergy in itself?
We're missing one line between the two bug heroes on one side. Trent's mildly
I'm so disappointed right now.
But close, but no cigar. Will, if Secret are going to win this, how are they going to do it?
I think for Secret to win this, they have to make sure they don't over-address the Brood. Like, you have to sort of understand that lane is going to lose. You can gank him in the mid-game, keep him down. It is still a mid-game oriented hero. You just have to focus on winning your other 2 lanes as hard as possible.
Okay. Is this a tense big Brood that wins the game yet again for Virtus.pro? Let's head back to our commentary team. They're ready to bring you game number 2. Zodi Pixel and Patient Zero.
Thank you very much, Red Eye, and what a game 2 lineup we have from both of these teams coming into this one. VP up against Secret, of course, singing this match. And the Brood Mother, the panel, they seem to think this one, it's pretty done and dusted to a little sense of it. The 80-20, they say, this Brood Mother that strong. Do you sort of agree? Are there a lot of ways that Secret can deal with the Ramses Brood, or is it going to be a bit of a rough one for Secret off the back of this draft?
I put the lanes. I don't know if they're because it's definitely a good Brood game. There's not really the control. There's none of those ideal lane like heroes that can actually just lane burst him on their own. Maybe the PL can try, but you're going to get overrun as soon as those levels start to build up. First few waves, the PL is going to be at some last hits, but once Brood, we know what happens, right? You get that level 3, you get your level 5, you just get overrun by all the spiders. Huh? I don't think I've ever seen no one play Void either.
I don't think I had either. I mean, I feel like maybe there's been like the one game, but it's definitely not a common thing to get to see here, especially on the main stage. So we'll see how no one does.
Yeah, and it'll happen when you see the Weaver, you know it's going to be one of these core like carry type of Weavers, and Void, as a Void expert, Owen, how hard is it to play the Weaver
Not very
versus
at
Void?
all. It's an easy MMR climbing hero, so I expect no one to have a very good time on it.
Okay, yeah.
And
it's the control versus those mobility cores is really ideal. But like the panel was mentioning, there's a lot of chaos going to be coming out in these fights. There's a lot of summons on both sides. I mean, you have the Brew Split, Spiders, Egg on one side, while on the side of Secret you have Illusions, Bugs, Eidolons, and Venom Wards. So yeah, chaos will be the name of the game here. And we'll see how Yapsor can do again, since they've been doing this consistently now in this tournament, putting him on this like 4-position Enigma that he gets very, very farmed on. And they're actually putting this tri-lane at the moment. So they will be able to claim at least 2 of these bounty runes, but it looks like it's going to be a 2 for 2 unless Nisha. He's able to snatch.
Same time up top, no one's able to snatch. Yeah, Sully gets the Fire Blast onto Zayas, no one's able to walk in, grab the rune.
So pressure is in the game. They want to just slow down the Void instead of actually focusing on that Brood Mother. Like Will was saying, you don't want to overemphasize on him, but you do have to address him at some point, so you can't just like take your buildings, take your towers. Puppy immediately rotates down bottom. I have to use a good amount of mana to try to like, just secure the rune, even though they didn't get that other one. So he is a bit low, but he does have the mangoes to expend.
So obviously, the Brood, that without a doubt is going to be sort of the one big, scary strength from VP that could be hard for Secret to deal with. Going to look at sort of Secret's draft, is there a particular sort of point of the game where they're going to have some sort of strength that could be hard for VP's lineup to deal with?
I think if they can get the PL very farmed in the later stages, sure, they have the Chronos Quiver, the lockdown, but do they really have that AoE damage? They've got the Dispel coming in from the Brewmaster, is probably the best one to deal with those illusions and clear them out, and once Phoenix gets levels as well, but I do think a mass a mass army of illusion in this game could definitely cause problems for VP in those later stages. They also have a lot of mana burn that they can build up on their lineup, right? They've got the Weaver and they've got the PL. Weaver, we've been seeing the Diffusal some of the times, also that mana break talent. It could definitely come into play where you see the Void just run out of mana, just from getting poked by illusions, poked by all these like different little hits.
Yeah, and as we did see there on the stats, so looking back at the records of VP, they've got 5 games with no one playing the Void. They've won 4 of them, so a very good win rate in those scenarios. And of course, no scenarios where no one's played the Broodmother. Every single time they grab it, they get Ramses on it. One of the best broods in the game.
Yep, and as expected in the first few levels, mid one is doing excellent until those spiders are going to build up, and we'll see Ramses start to even it out quite a bit mid one, taking a couple tower hits there. But yeah, he's doing excellent. Look at these denies. 9 and 6 to the 5 and 2 of the Brood. Really controlling that lane quite well on this PL at the moment, as the spiders will start to build up.
Yeah, that's sort of level 2, level 3, where things get a lot trickier for mid one, and he can be bullied back. Finding that a little harder to find the farm against this constant harass from the spiders.
Puppy gets an invis room, and he's starting to make his way toward mid. We're now looking for what seems to be a courier.
Nothing coming out of the moment. No deliveries being done here.
And look at the rotation too. Roger's making his move toward middle. Mid one, he did use the doppel. It's on cooldown.
He is fairly low, yeah. They know it's still not there for 10 seconds.
Roger's getting hit by tower.
Quite the kill, just a bit of pressure, trying to ease mid one away from the middle, but he's got this out, bottom lane. Oh, that miss. Pasha will survive.
Zai was also in a bit of trouble up top, but he will be safe as he is able to distance himself. And now it's just like some roaming. They're just gonna have Nisha bottom versus this Brewmaster whenever Roger starts to roam, and Puppy will also match that movement, as Roger is also looking for a courier snipe, it seems.
Let's see if he gets any more fortunate, as courier not making its way down to mid. And is now flying, so any sort of snipe is gonna be a lot harder to get. Still maybe just focused on trying to get a kill. They've got the pressure, building in, diving behind this tier 1. Starting to dance around mid one, just using the fire spirits, not trying to take aggro from the tower onto the Phoenix.
Yeah, he's gone for the double stout, as we've been seeing a lot of times on these melee heroes that you try putting versus the Broodmother. Ramses taking 4, 5 tower hits, 6 tower hits.
He's messed up. He messes up.
He got hit by the 5 or 6 times.
I mean, that was purely his own doing, going in and trying to get aggressive on mid one with Roger's out. Roger backs up, but he still sticks around and he doesn't manage to de-aggro. That was a rare mistake from a Ramses Brood.
Incredibly costly too. That's a PL who's level 5 now, having a much better time than I'd expected. Double stout shield just works so well versus Brood. He takes 0 damage from these spiders.
Bottom lane, Nisha. Can he finish this one off? Won't look to dive, a little too low. Just keeping Pasha low, making sure that Pasha struggles to get him really bully the Weaver. An ordeal that's already hard to do, as we can see Nisha farming just okay. Down bottom, not feeling too scared about the constant spam of the Brewmaster. We'll see this again in the mid lane.
2, 3, 4. Switches per second. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. I was actually 10 tower hits or more. Yeah, that was. He could not get the aggro off himself.
That's a little bit of a question mark. I mean, he knows he messed up there. A little bit of an eyebrow raise. As he's got to do a little bit better than that, Ramses. He can't afford to make those mistakes.
I didn't even see it was that many hits. I thought it was like 7 or something. 10. That's something you don't see every day. As Puppy with that haste rune able to secure the kill with Nisha, as he's been playing super bullying onto this melee hero in the bottom lane. And no one is getting slowed down a bit on this Void, not having that free farm that he ideally wants on this, because of the pressure that's coming out from Veno, and also just the Enigma, just the natural denies that's going to come out. Yapsor.
No, not an easy lane for the Void. That sort of constant, persistent damage over time, that there's never really sort of a good point where you want to use that time warp, because you know that without sort of, it's not this nuke damage that you can instantly counter. You're always going to be kept low.
The mid one is 41 last hits. A couple of those are spiders. He's actually just been standing still because Ramses can't actually man up on him now that he's got double stout to kill us so early on. 12 armor, double stout. This Broodmother doesn't really hurt this PL whatsoever.
Mid one's well and truly won this lane. And sure, you know, Brood Mother being a Brood Mother, there are ways to recover and obviously go through those jungle elements of the map and really get yourself back on top.
Yeah.
But this PL, he's on track to be that issue that, as you mentioned at the start, is one of the big strengths that Secret can get away with. They can sort of sail mid-1 towards a good diffusal blade timing, get him moving around the map, get him on top of this void before no one sort of picks up his main item. VP's going to be in trouble. At the same time, top, no one's getting pressured. Bottom, Nisha does find the kill with the Shikuchi, and top lane as well. No one will die.
Oh,
as
goodness.
VP, I mean, they're losing every single lane. As they are 6 minutes in, they're 3k behind. It's 4 for 0. Ramses is coming close, trying to dive underneath this tower. For Puppey does get it, so at least find something. But it's a rough start for VP across the map.
And Ramses, he's cutting the creep wave. So what Midwin's actually doing is he's just like, okay, cut my creep wave, I'll cut yours. And he's actually feeling he's going to take this mid tower before a Brood does as a Phantom Lancer. He's got it on the first catapult wave. It's 6.5 minutes in.
Mid-1 is playing outstanding out of this lane. It's sure, you know, there's the PRs we've seen with the Stouts, it's great, but this is a lane where a lot of people would buckle against the pressure of the Brood, and he absolutely hasn't. He's owned that middle lane. A little bit down to the mistake there from Ramses, but as we've seen at this level of Dota, you can't make those mistakes in the first few minutes of the lane, otherwise it can be the lane just over. As mid-1, a tower now starting to head over to the Ancients and jungle potentially of VP's half of the map. Safest place to be. What do VP do against this? They don't really have ways to head over and punish this PL as mid-1 is getting too big, too fast. Down bottom, ooh. Primal split. Does indeed come out in time to save him, but it will not be enough to fight back. As Nisha, you can see there, even seeing if he can chase down. He's still chasing the Primal Split. Maybe seeing if he can get the kill after the Primal Split ends. He chases again. He's going to find it, I think. He's on top of him with the Shikuchi. Oh, he doesn't get it. The greed, it punishes him. You can see it there. I mean, you knew how low the Brew was going into that split. It was always going to be tempting to chase him down, but it cost Nisha his life. Mid lane, back towards the action where Mid-1 and Puppey are chasing down Solo. Solo will head towards those Ancients. Maybe see if he can go for a deny. Surrounded by the PL army and will fall. Jump forward for no one with the Time War because he goes straight towards Puppey. They'll get a trade. Mid-1, he's still trying to fight this. There's 3 against 1, but he's beating down onto Roger. He's trying to run, so the Phantom rush forwards. There's Mid-1. He's taken 2 kills. Can he get out? He's got Doppelganger back up in a second. He should be able to walk this off, and yet no one backs off. He knows that he can't chase Mid-1 as Mid-1 just continues.
And look at Ramses out.
Oh, they're going to get him as well. Potentially the Frostbite. A Spirit Lance if he's got it. Doppelganger jump forward. Spirit Lance wasn't back up in time. Ramses will escape, but this Phantom Lancer,
the pressure he's applying, he's forcing the rotations from VP, and because of this, look at top lane. Gapsor is now taking the tower, and he's got Arcane Boots and a Buckler. Him and Zai just have dominated now this top lane, and no one, he's a level 5 Void.
Secret just seeming to be on another level in some of the games we've seen on this main stage.
Look at Ramsey.
Up against VP, they are crushing it so far. This game 2, 4k advantage.
3rd fastest middle tower here, and it's by a Phantom Lancer versus a Brood Mother. I don't think that you would expect that.
Absolutely not. This is just straight up outplay from Secret. As every lane being constructed and performed to a T, and it's VP is struggling. A Solo up top, he does have the backup of Roger. They'll come in with the dive and the Spirit's out. Zai's got the stick charge, he jabs, so with the Malphite holds back, no one jumps forward. They'll get the Chrono out to the 2 of them. Can they get some kills out of this? They'll get the Zai Veno. They look towards Puppey too. The bash comes in from no one. As VP, they're striking back. They'll get a couple of kills. Yapsor's there though, so is Mid-1. It doesn't matter that they're by the shrine, this heal's already been used. Mid-1, he still wants to fight this because Yapsor, he's got the black hole. He holds 2 more down. It's a double kill for Mid-1. Pasha will TP him with the Primal Split, but they'll nuke down the Phoenix with the Spirit Lance. Secret, can they get Mid-1 out of there? He's still got a Doppelganger available out of the, as soon as he dropped back down by the Brew, so he can head to the side. He's going to hold it for now. As he looking to jump to, he's still trying to sort of fight back here in the midst of it all. He knows that he's got a chance of maybe finding Pasha. The clap comes through. Could he get Pasha with him? He can't. They kill the PL.
Very smart play by Pasha. He actually runs the Fire Spirit as well as the Earth Spirit down to that low ground. So Mid-1's put in a position where he's like, uh-oh, I don't really know which way I want to doppel. So they kind of sandwich him and pick up a much needed kill. But this PL is
so far.
He's just running at them. He's going to have a Diffusal Blade any moment now. And also Nisha's kind of just been isolated now bottom. He's able to just get this farm up. Actually going to be opting for the Dragon Lance build so he can get some farm. And Pasha's going green. He's going for the Midas Sun Brew.
And it's sort of the way I feel that you can play when you have a Brood on your team, because you know you're going to have this hero just totally sort of focused towards keeping that pressure somewhere on the map. So in terms of finding an opportunity for Secret, despite the lead that they've got now, to get to the point where they're pushing tier 2s, pushing tier 3s, it's always going to be tricky, because that Brood is going to be sitting somewhere, forcing some of your team back each and every time to deal with the split push effort. So you can draw the game out, and you can make that Midas purchase on a Brood pay off. As Ramsey, so we'll find Puppey out alone.
See, the thing is still that the PL, he can stand toe-to-toe with the Brood inside the lane, because going for this kill on PL is just way too difficult. But playing these supports is still going to be a bit of a problem, in particular for our poor Puppey. Zai also can be very limited versus that Brood, unless he connects the Gale perfectly on all those spiders. He can be pressured by Ramses time and time again, and Ramses, he's looking for the aggressive build. He has his Diffusal Blade already finished up, so he can look to set up for kills. He can look to get involved around the map, as it does seem like they really need, because he's been slowed down so much on this Void. He is 3,300 net worth, similar as Zai, but the way that Secret's playing is that, you know, they prioritize a lot more farm on Yapsor, especially when they're right in this type of strategy. And Venomancer, he's got a 90 GPM talent. You know, he'll hit that level 10, he'll start making his way back up too.
Bottom lane.
Puppey on a bit of a warding expedition.
Very deep. No one starting to bash away at the CM. And yeah, Puppey, he's not getting out of this one. Ramses gets another kill on that Crystal Maiden.
He ward blocked one of those camps. He got one high ground ward.
Top lane Roger. He's trying to kick something off. He dives forward, does have a supernova if he needs to commit it. No one heading into the trees to find Zai. The primal split there as well, as Zai would try and TP out. It's not going to work. The stun comes straight in from the Pruling. Zai surrounded, cornered at the top of the map, as Zai will get taken down. Pasha gets the kill. 10 for 9. BP starting to slow down that early game tempo that Secret were bringing.
Oh, I do like the item queuing that I've seen Pasha queue up is actually exactly what I want. Because we were mentioning the PL, the illusions are going to be the problem, right? He instantly queues up that Radiance, so he can have that scale. Playing versus Radiance, if you are a Phantom Lancer, is one of the most obnoxious things. I love this, if Pasha's actually able to get it at a decent time.
It's both Roger and Solo on a bit of a smoke mission.
They've done a great job of recovering this early game.
Yapsor has got the Black Hole back up.
And a full mech on top too. So this is a pretty tanky Enigma who can really turn the tides inside those team fights.
They're going to make a bit of a go onto him here. The three of them, they do have a Chronosphere if they need a jump forward. They're not going to mess around. No one commits it, make sure there's no chance of sort of a kickback with a potential Black Hole. Does VP pick off another across the map?
It's fine using that, like using Chrono for those type of plays right now. The way that the pace is, Secret's all split up on the map. They're not trying to force anything. They're not some like big 5-man death ball lineup, so just getting a big Chrono kill on like that very farmed Enigma, definitely worth it for no one. Not wanting to hold that for much longer. It's mid, Ramses. Both of them having their Diffusal finished up, kind of standing toe-to-toe.
Of course, at all stages of this game, the control for the Brood is a little lacking. Sure, they can slow him a little bit, but as soon as he's in those webs with the free popping, he's out of there. It's down to sort of the CM to be in with the Frostbite, but a lot of the time when CM is under the front, she dies straight away. Roger dives away, and the bugs fly through. With the Gemini attack, Nisha gets the kill. Pasha has to TP out with the Malefish. Yapsor cancel the TP. Secret take a couple, and he's dead with that Midas not used. So 30 seconds of efficiency lost.
And quick movements, right? They know Supernova was used, they know the Bruce Split was used, they know Chrono was used. That's when they actually are like, okay, now we actually can group together. Now we do have the potential to push with these Idolize, with these illusions. They can threaten these tier 2s. VP's teamfight is not ready.
And you can really feel the pace that the Secret want to play with. You know, getting the Vanguard on the Veno, as we saw getting the mech on the Enigma ASAP. They're building up all these auras, all these ways to push through. We'll see if he does want to get sort of an early Crimson Guard, or if he does go back for the pipe. I mean, so side with his build.
VP definitely can have some damage issues. If they're able to get Guardian Greaves Crimson Guard, I look at their damage, and majority of it's going to be coming from a Phoenix in the backlines during the Chrono. Aside, will get isolated by 3 and brought down.
Nisha has come across, but not really a fight they want to poke back at Secret, at least just with the two of them, and Nisha not quite having that first big damage item. His build at the moment, queuing up the Aghanim's, changing that away from the earlier Diffusal that he did have. So the item he'd be eyeing up. Solo tries to come up and see if he can find a bounty rune, but Nisha and Puppey are there waiting for him. They'll push him away, secure the bounty rune for themselves. Mid one. I mean, we do see some good games from the PPL, but this game, well ahead of the average on this hero. As he has been hitting some incredible item timings And in a lane, as I say, where sometimes we do see PL struggle a little bit, or at least not have as free of a time as he has.
They want Roger.
Roger. Continue to be chased. Potentially he's getting whittled down by these illusions. Pasha has to clear them out with a clap. As Ramses keeps coming, sort of sweeping in, trying to sort of cut the waves, slow down any sort of push that Secret may want to try and get together at this early point of the game. Still just 15 minutes in, Secret with the 4K advantage.
They're feeling very strong right now. Just whenever they're grouped up, Yapsor's pushing down bottom, but we know how powerful they are at the moment. Is Pasha
trying to make a bit of action. Pasha pumps the primal split. They do get the stun onto Midbon. The rest of VP coming in with the fire blast. Midbon just gets locked down on the front of the fight. Roger dives in with the Battle Fist, stops him from getting the supernova off. No one's got the disable onto the Weaver. Do they have the damage to kill off Nisha before the bash? The stun! They've got it! Pasha with the primal split micro has the control the VP need to get 2 cores. Big ones as well, maybe even more, as they'll get a blast onto Zai. Yapsor does have the black hole, and VP will respect that. They'll take themselves away from the fight for now. At least they'll try to, as Puppey. He's leading in, he's trying to get them to still go for this. Solo's poking away at Yapsor. So they will know that black hole's available, so they don't want to get too close. 10 tons down bottom, a bit of pressure onto that tier 3 tower being done by the Siege Wagon.
That is Chrono as well as the split used. So Secret, they could opt to look for some type of fight here, as they still do have pretty much everything available for themselves. As it is a committed Aghanims build onto that Weaver. 2 pieces already bought up. Just wants to be tanky and also wants to try to save his teammates. Like the panel was mentioning, they don't have a save versus the Chronosphere, but the Weaver, he can act as that save if he itemizes. And straight to the Roshan, that's the objective. Chrono down, Chrono split down. They know that they're much stronger around here, and they also have the ways to get the vision, right? The bugs, as well as the Venom wards being placed everywhere. They'll know if VP's approaching, unless VP has a smoke prepared.
VP's keeping over to the shrine. It looks like they do intend to still maybe try and get in there. They only have that supernova, though.
It's so difficult for them to fight this without Chrono and Bruce Split.
Can they really get in there, Roger? Dives in. They'll see the state of the Roshan. Yeah, they know that they can't. They know that they can't stop this. So Secret get away with the Roshan. Aegis on mid 1.
Just identifying those things, right? Like, big ultis are down, make your way into find some type of big objective, and they don't really have some good towers that they can claim as solo. He was connected with the Gale earlier and will get chased down.
Back on track, Secret with this Aegis. And we're still that sort of window of time where the Warrior of Chronosphere is not quite back up. We'll be there shortly, though.
Pasha looking for Puppey. He's committing the split for this solo kill down here. He will be able to find it, but now they're going to know there's no split also available.
That's true. It's taken away.
Again.
And Secret, I don't think they're letting up with this pressure in the mid. Absolutely not. They've found that tier 2 tower. They know that the full team fight is not online from VP. Just keep pushing. They have that Aegis. What can VP do to try and slow this down? Ramsey's trying to poke him from the side, but mid 1, he'll go straight across. Start to look to target the Spider. Bottom lane, VP, they've got Pasha TPing back. He has to get back. Even without the ult, they have to be here as a full fight to have the chance. The Chrono does come in with the egg as well, coming down. It's a good setup for no one. The Supernova stun successful. Ramsey on top and side with the black holes there for Yapsor. It catches 2 of VP. It catches Roger. It catches no one. And they've lost 2. Ramses will be able to clean up Yapsor off the back of the fight as he gets the Enigma solo, trying to TP out, but the damage is too much from Secret. As VP will lose 3 outside of the base, Secret still ready to push in. They still have that Aegis untouched on mid 1.
And because they itemized, we were talking about VP, the damage issues are really starting to apply. They don't have all their ultis available because of the way those lanes went. This itemization, the Vanguard, the Guardian Greaves, they're tanking enough to sustain through this.
And that was the Chrono, that was the Supernova, and Secret, they're still pushing on. You didn't win the fight, you didn't push Secret back, so they're sticking around for as long as they can. As Roger TP's in, dive away. He has to be careful, and at the same time, they've got the frostbite onto Ramses. Ramses, he's trying to be healed up by the Sunray. It's not enough, as Ramses is dead.
And now Roger,
he's not got the dive either, as he's gone as well. Double kill for Nisha. Secret inside the base of VP. Just beating down onto these racks. Nisha really wants to finish this. Get those racks done. VP have brought back on 2.
Yapsor is back down. He's got the Greaves. He's going to be able to heal his team up. They can reset and just keep going for this Rex. They should be able to clean it up.
There's nothing that scares them at all. And
no
fortification slows them down. What's the soonest ult that's going to be back
3
up?
seconds for Pasha, but he's getting scouted. The Venom wards keep poking him. They see him on the side there. They throw the Gale on him. He's forced to split.
They'll pop the split indeed, but the racks, the melee, it's gone. Mid-1 goes straight on top of Roger. Roger's frostbit and he's held in place, but Mid-1 jumps outside of the base. The Spirit launched over the illusion, finishes off the burn. As Phoenix is dead, the full Ags now picked up as Bam. Mid-one's given a nice bit of a heal. As Nisha with that Aghanims, they could keep this push going. Outside of the base, they've caught Pasha as the primal split ends, as that is Pasha dead for 70. 20 minutes into this game, Secret well and truly dealing with the Brood draft that VP tried to bring to this game, as VP, they are crumbling.
And they're still sustained. The Guardian Graves, it's back up. Low cooldown, 35 seconds. Heals up his teammates. They commit for the dive. Ramses has the BKB. Goes inside, but he's trapped.
He's trapped. He's trapped in the trees. No one. He'll get a two-man
They
cry
call
out for
it.
GG. It's all over. It's all over. It's the end of the road for VP. As Secret looking as hot as ever today on this ESL finals day. This first series getting themselves that position in the grand finals, and they made it look easy.
They played so
VP
fast.